5.3 modeling functions. When we are identifying the domain and range, or the independent and the dependent values, we want to look at the independent values as the input function, or the input of the function, and our dependent values or variables are the what we're getting out of the independent. So what you put in is the independent, what comes out is your dependent. If we look at the first set of examples, we're identifying the dependent and independent variables in each situation. It says to us that in the winter, more electricity is used when the outside temperature goes down and less is used when the outside temperature rises. So your amount of electricity depends on the temperature. So here, the amount of electricity depends on the temperature. Your independent and your dependent are from this. So our dependent is the amount of electricity. And your dependent is the temperature. Which one changes based off of the other one? The amount of electricity changes based off of the temperature. So the amount of electricity is your dependent and the temperature is your independent. So the next one tells us the cost of shipping a package is based on its weight. So the cost depends on the weight. The cost depends on the weight. So your dependent is the cost and your independent is the weight. E says the faster Tom walks, the quicker he gets home. So the time depends on his speed. Your dependent is the time. Your independent is his speed. If we look at our next part, we're looking at function notation. Function notation is if the x is the independent variable and the y is the dependent variable, then you have function notation to write as y of f of x, or y is equal to f of x. When you look at your next example, we're given that Amanda babysits and charges $5 per hour. So we have a table that describes what she makes per hour. So if she works 1 hour, she gets $5, 2 is 10, 3 is 15, 4 is 20. So the money earned is 5 times the hours worked. An algebraic expression that defines a function is a function rule. Write an equation using 2 variables to show this relationship. So we have the amount that she earned, which would be our y, it's our output, is 5 times the number of hours she worked. That would be our x. So y is equal to 5 times x. Your dependent variable is a function of the independent variable. We're writing an equation in function notation, so we're using f of x instead of y. So this is going to be f of x is equal to 5 times x. If we look at the next example, it says, for each example, identify the independent and the dependent variables. Write an equation in function notation using f of x for each situation, and then use the equation to solve the problem. So for A, we have a lawyer's fee is $180 per hour for his services. How much does the lawyer charge for 5 hours? So we have a dependent and an independent. Our dependent is the fee that's charged because that depends on the amount of hours he works. So our dependent is the fee, the independent is the hours worked. So from here, we can use f of x to represent y, and the hours, or the amount per hour, is 180 per hour. So that f of x is equal to 180 times h is our function notation or function rule. If he works 5 hours, we're going to plug in 5 for h, and that would be f of 5. So whatever you're plugging in for h, that would go in place of the x, and then you plug it in, so 180 times 5 gives us that he would make $900 for 5 hours. For B, it says the admission fee at a carnival is $9. Each ride costs $1.75. How much does it cost to go to the carnival and then go on 12 rides? So your dependent is the total cost. And your independent is the number of rides. So this function is going to be f of x is equal to, it's $9 to go into the carnival, and then $1.75 per ride. So that we have $1.75 per ride plus the $9. So we are going to go on 12 rides, so we would do f of 12 is equal to $1.75 times 12 plus 9. So the $1.75 times 12 is going to give us $21. If we add 9 to that, it's going to cost us $30. So f of 12 is equal to $30. For example 4, it says Katie earns $7.50 per hour. How much money will she earn after working 8 hours? So her dependent is the money she earns. Your independent is the hours worked. So she makes $7.50 per hour, so that would be f of x is equal to $7.50 per hour of x. And then we want to know how much money she earns after working 8 hours. So if x is 8, so f of 8 is 750 times 8. 750 times 8 is going to give us 60, so f of 8 is $60. If we look at our next set of examples, we're choosing a reasonable domain and range. So it tells us to write a function in function notation for each situation and find a reasonable domain and range for each function. So for A, it tells us that Manuel has already sold $20 worth of tickets to a school play. He has 4 tickets left to sell at $2.50 per ticket. Write a function rule for the total amount collected from these ticket sales. So he already sold 20, so it's going to be f of x. F of x is equal to the $2.50 per ticket, so that's $2.50 times x, plus the $20 he already made. We have a domain of 4 tickets, so our domain would be 1, 2, 3, and 4. We have to find how much he makes for all of these. So for f of 1, we would have 250 times 1 plus 20. For f of 2, we're going to have 250 times 2 plus 20. For f of 3, we're going to have 250 times 3 plus 20. And then of f of 4, we're going to have 250 4 plus 20. So this 250 plus 20 is going to give us 2250. The 250 times 2 is 5, and 5 plus 20 is 25. The 250 times 3 plus the 20 is 2750. And then the 250 times 4 plus 20 is going to give us 30. So our range function, or our range values, are going to be the 2250, the 25, the 2750, and the 30. For B, it tells us that a telephone company charges 25 cents per minute for the first 5 minutes of a call, plus 45 cents connection fee per call. Write a function for the total cost in dollars for making a call. So our function is going to be f of x is equal to, well, we have $25 per minute, so that's going to be 0.25 x, and then it's 45 cents to connect the call, so that's plus 0.45. So from here, we want a function for the total cost of making a call. So we can do one with 1 minute, anything from 1 to 5 minutes now for the first 5 minutes. So our domain is going to be the 1 through 5. Domain is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Come on. And then our range is going to be those values that we get when we solve this. So we are going to start by doing f of 1. F of 1 is going to be the 0.25 times 1 plus 0.45. This is going to give us 70 cents. F of 2 is going to be 25 cents times 2, so 50 plus 45 cents. It's going to give us 95 cents. F of 3 is going to be 25 cents times 3, so 75 cents plus 45 cents, which is also $1.20. F of 4 is going to be $1 plus 45 cents, which is $1.45. And then F of 5 is going to be 25 cents times 5, which is $1.25, plus 45 cents, which is $1.90. So our range values for this are the 70 cents, the 95 cents, the 120, the 145, and the 190. If we look at our next examples, we're writing a function and function notation for each situation and finding a reasonable domain and range for each function. So if we look at 5, it says the temperature early in the morning is 17 degrees Celsius. The temperature increases by 2 degrees for every hour for the next 5 hours. Write a function for the temperature in degrees Celsius. So for this example, which is number 5, we're going to have the function f of x is equal to 2x plus 17. We're starting at the 17 degrees, then it goes up by 2 each hour. So that's 2x. From here, it's going up for 5 hours, so our domain is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Our range is what we're going to get from doing this. So we're going to have f of 1 is 2 times 1 plus 17, which is 19. F of 2 is 2 times 2 plus 17, which is 21. F of 3 is 2 times 3 plus 17, which is 23. F of 4 is 2 times 4 plus 17, which is 25. And F of 5 is 2 times 5 plus 17, which is 27. So we have 19, 21, 23, 25, and 27 for range values. Verse 6, we have Takumi earns $8.50 per hour proofreading advertisements at a local newspaper. He works no more than 5 hours a day. Write a function for his earnings. So this is 6. We're going to have f of x is equal to he works $8, or he works each hour for $8.50. So it's just $8.50 per hour. So our domain is going to be at 1 through 5 hours. Our range is what we're going to get from solving that. So we're going to have f of 1 is 850 times 1, which is 850. F of 2 is 850 times 2, which is $17. F of 3 is 850 times 3, which is $25.50. F of 4 is 850 times 4, which is $34. And F of 5 is 850 times 5, which is $42.50. So our range values for here are 850, 17, to 25.50, 34, and 42.50.